I think companies today are struggling a lot with legacy platforms and how to introduce AI into a legacy platform or tech stack versus kind of where the capabilities are in starting anew. And when you look at travel technology, you could break it down through three phases, right? You have the kind of enterprise or legacy platforms that were out there from the very beginning and processing and transacting online bookings. Recently, you've seen people move into more that cloud native environment. And I think now what you're seeing is the emergence of true agentic platforms. And I think where Serko made the conscious decision was, yes, we've got a platform. Yes, we sit on a lot of data and a lot of information, but trying to bolt AI onto that and get the full power of that is really difficult. So we started anew last year, really taking what we knew and learned and building that from the ground up. And that's really set us free to reimagine what the possibilities are with where technology is going. Trip flexibility is becoming a modern cornerstone for business travel because simply, the flexibility that's needed and expected by today's professionals and probably those in the past as well, the technology was limiting, requires a lot more flexibility. Disruption is the number one pain point that business travelers continue to say why they're frustrated about the tools they use or the support or the servicing that they get. And today a lot of the technology is limiting and the ability to self-modify, and you still have to get in line or pick up the phone and call somebody. And so when we've been working and designing, we've been really looking at fintech products and other technologies that are out there today of saying like, look, why is everything not easily modifiable? Why is everything not easily able to be changed or canceled or refunded? In other parts of retail, everything can. So how could we introduce that in a way to simplify the booking experience, the modification experience, and when disruptions happen, give people more of that peace of mind, but the ability to quickly take action versus the stress of having to deal with that themselves. And so I think you're going to see this kind of permeate more and more, and I know through our own research that we know we're on the right track with how we're bringing it to the market. Autonomous workflows are redefining the role of a travel manager, I think in a good way. If you look at where the industry has historically been, they spend too much time chasing why somebody booked something, why a manager allowed that to happen, pulling data and reports together, and less time being strategic. And I don't think agentic AI capabilities are replacing the role of a travel manager. I think it's giving them the support and supercharging the role as it should be expected. We know that those roles typically don't always get the most support inside their organization. And I think with AI agents especially, and the way platforms are being built for the future, I think it gives information overload for a travel manager to be able to slice, dice, dissect, and really get to the root of how they can make the program work best for the organization and their employees themselves. I'll use an example. A lot of legacy corporate booking technologies, can't collect all the decision information that a traveler looked at. Meaning, they made a selection, and it's just simply was it in policy or was it not. The way we've designed our systems is that we collect everything that was shown to a traveler, everything they've looked at, how long they looked at those things, and ultimately what decision they made. And where did that fall in the spectrum of all options in terms of that choice and that decision. And I think that gives a travel manager a lot more insight and intelligence to understand how their program is working, how to adapt things that maybe make travel policy more dynamic versus static, and just be able to move a lot faster as we go forward. All right. Oops, I got two. When you think about the future of business travel, what makes you optimistic? I would say what makes me optimistic is a couple things. One, I think we're entering a new era of technology, right? When you think about the dawn of the internet and introduced the first online booking, smartphones that accelerated the rapid adoption of mobile and booking from your smartphone. And now with agentic AI and people using it every day in their personal and their professional lives, what a reimagined travel experience could look like. And I think what you can quickly see is that nobody really wants to do all this stuff themselves. Their job is to go to the destination and get the job at hand done. And I think where technology is evolving is that we can create an environment where an AI agent understands you, understands what's important to you, understands the intent of why you're going, what your company cares and what guardrails they put in place. And with every conversation and every interaction gets smarter. And then when you're on that trip, have the ability to step in proactively, not reactively. And when you come back and you think you're done, and then you're like, ugh, I got to do my expense report, actually having someone take that off on your own on behalf as well and do that autonomously. I think that we're not that far from that future, and I think that's super exciting. And I think the level of innovation that we're seeing in the business travel industry that I think for decades we've all been craving is really starting to emerge, and I think is only going to accelerate in the weeks, months, and years to come.